So I've talked a lot about my directed research, which admittedly is the focus of this blog, but I'd like to talk about the other classes that I'm taking. At Clark, we have to take 4 classes a semester. This semester, in addition to my directed study and French, which I am taking for the liberal arts perspective, I'm taking 2 biology seminars. The first biology seminar I'm taking is called Ecology of Infectious Diseases, and the other one is called Population Genetics. Typically at Clark, our lectures are given 2 to 3 times a week, totaling 2.5 hours. Seminars, on the other hand, are given once a week for that whole time. Seminars tend to be very small class sizes, and they are discussion-oriented. Ecology of Infectious Diseases, for the first 4 weeks we were primarily lectured, and the second 4 weeks we had student-led discussions. Student-led discussions consisted of a student selecting several papers pertaining to one topic. Every student in the seminar was to read the papers assigned by the student, and the student leading the discussion presented on the papers as a whole, and then led a discussion. We had topics ranging from El Nino events affecting hantavirus. We did another topic about viruses in bumblebees, and I talked about World of Warcraft. Well, I talked about disease modeling in human behavior because there was a huge epidemic in World of Warcraft a couple years ago where a disease got out and there was giant mayhem. It was actually a really cool model because it took into account human behavior, which most scientific models for human diseases do not. And right now, to finish off this seminar of infectious diseases, we are working on group projects. My group project pertains to malaria in Africa, specifically how climate change is affecting the distribution of malaria. Population genetics, on the other hand, has been about half lecture and half discussion of papers. The scientific papers have been assigned by my professor, although we have influenced what kind of papers we'd like to read. Like, we've read papers about effective population size in humans, and papers looking at the genetic diversity in polar bears. We'll then have a discussion about the readings that we had done for the week, and they can get kind of interesting. Not only do we talk about all the scientific methods that they use and maybe how the authors could have made their experiments better, but we talk about some ethics in that class. I think it was last week we talked about polar bears and whether or not they should be on the endangered species list. And usually with these seminars, they're quite hard and they're fairly selective, so most students are participating pretty well, which is great.